Other than Alduin, there are no dragons whose souls aren't absorbed by the Dragonborn once they're vanquished. That is, except for Durnehviir, the undead dragon who resides in the Soul Cairn, and we're going to be exploring the tragedy of his existence in this video. But before we get into Durnehviir's tale, I'd like to introduce you to the vibrant Elder Scrolls community on Amino. If you're not aware, Amino is a network of communities for people to discuss games and other subjects. So for example, there is a Skyrim Amino. A distinctive thing about the Skyrim community here is that alongside there being a live text chat, there are loads of quizzes you can do on Elder Scrolls lore if you're looking to boost your knowledge. I've made a poll on the Skyrim Amino on cool lore topics, and I'll base my next video around the most popularly voted option, so be sure to download the app and head over to vote. Anyway, let's get back to Durnehviir, the undead dragon of the Soul Cairn. The story of Durnehviir's life is a tragic one. In the Merethic era, Durnehviir flew in the skies of Tamriel with his kin. He was free and alive. But the dragon developed an interest in necromancy. Unlike other dragons, he did not merely use the traditional shouts. Instead, he raised minions in battle who served him. But like many necromancers, Durnehviir was not satisfied with his powers. Seeking ever more power, he contacted the ideal masters of the Soul Cairn, for it was his wish to raise legions of the dead for his own ends, no doubt to help him dominate other dragons and humans. The Ideal Masters are an enigma. There's no concrete explanation for who or what they are. All that is known is that the Ideal Masters of the Soul Cairn hunger for pure souls. This is what necromancers bargain for with the Masters granting individuals the ability to conjure powerful undead in return for their soul. But the Ideal Masters would only strengthen Durnehviir's powers if he made a pact. And as is the case with most pacts made with the Masters, the pact was grossly unfair in its wording. In this case, Durnehviir had to agree to serve as Keeper of the Soul Cairn and Guard of Valerica until her eventual death. Valerica, just to remind you, is the mother of Serana in the Dawnguard DLC. Durnehviir saw this as no problem at first, because dragons are obviously immortal. A human life is but a blink of an eye for them. But what the Ideal Masters failed to mention is that Valerica is a vampire. She too is immortal. Thus, Durnehviir became trapped in the Soul Cairn. He could never leave whilst Valerica was alive. If, after killing the vampire Lord Harkon, the Dragonborn returns to the Soul Cairn and tells Valerica she will leave the Soul Cairn and return to her study in Tamriel. You would think that this would free Durnehviir from his pact, but the wording of the pact states that he can only be free once Valerica dies. Moreover, Durnehviir has truly become one with the Soul Cairn, and this prevents him from leaving. Some theorise that his soul has been absorbed by the Soul Cairn itself, which is a reason why he can't stay with the Dragonborn perpetually if the Dragonborn summons them to Tamriel. Durnehviir's soul, unfortunately, is tethered to the Soul Cairn. It's not his soul anymore, it is that of the Ideal Masters. But it is fitting that Durnehviir gets some solace through the Dragonborn's ability to call him to Tamriel. For brief periods of time, Durnehviir is able to fly the skies of Tamriel once again. But nonetheless, his fate remains a tragic one, and one shared no doubt by many other necromancers. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more Elder Scrolls lore and speculation videos, then feel free to check out my channel. Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.